Marcy, are you ready to sell your ideology? You got one shot and one opportunity.
I'm ready. I'm ready to give the pitch. I mean...
Give the pitch, buddy. Let's fucking go!
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm a zoomer.
I'm so hyped to feast on the body of destiny. To drink his blood and
E double
sustain on his carcass.
Yes!
Welcome to the Grillcast, the only podcast in the whole entire world dedicated to radical centrism. I am your host, Orion. Joining me as always is Micah. What is up, buddy?
Yeah, we're out for blood today, Orion.
And blood we shall have. Joining us also is our favorite recurring guest, sometimes depending on how nice he is to me that day. It is Marcy. What is up, the third man?
What's up? Not much. It's good to be here.
Now, I invited you on today, Marcy, because you pitched an ideology to me that is so earth-shaking. You know, it's something that could really shift the way that we see things, how we process our emotions, how we process the world around us. And when I heard it, I thought, you need to bring this on the airwaves and pitch it to the Grillisha so that they too can be enlightened. Now, you have one shot and one opportunity. Don't fuck it up. Go!
No pressure.
All right,
no
so
pressure.
This ideology is called Narrativism. And so the idea of Narrativism is that you should believe... It's that you should believe what you want to believe. The idea is that you fundamentally don't understand the world and you need to accept that. And so you need to reinforce your own beliefs that make the world a better place for you and believe the things that make the world a better place for you. And the thing about narrativism is that everyone is already a narrativist. You just have to work to be better at it than everyone else.
So basically, what I've gathered from what you've described, you're doing a great job, by the way. No pressure. You're doing all right. I'm not really sold yet.
The
If I was just a random
Can you
person
repeat all
here.
that?
I have a riveting manifesto, but it's lost in my files. If I was just reading the opening statements from that, everyone would immediately understand.
Your files. What the
I don't
fuck
know.
are you
It's lost.
talking
I
about?
was trying to pull it up, like on my some
files?
kind of Google Doc, some kind of thing. There's a manifesto. It's written somewhere, but it was written in some kind of fugue state, like a manic fugue state. I was probably on some drugs, but the point is it's lost. So I got to spitball here, okay? But
Okay.
Well, you're doing great, buddy. You're doing great. Let's all give him a round of applause here. And, I'll steel man your ideology here. I'll give you a little bit of a backup. It's basically the idea of wing cuckery, right? Wherein you already believe the things that make you happy, that fit with your own worldview, but you're doing it consciously. You're saying, I'm doing this, but it's not because
Sort
the
of
actual
like
facts
the wing,
line up.
like the wing Chad.
Yeah, it's wing chatting, essentially. It's being conscious of the wing cuckery that you're putting out, basically. Is that fair?
Yes. Like the example I always use is like I wholeheartedly believe in UFOs, cryptids, sea monster conspiracies, bullshit like that. And so the reason is, to me, the world's a better place if there's UFOs and weird sea monsters and shit. And so what I do is I actively research these topics extensively. I find like the dumbest holes and I don't check the facts. I reinforce in my mind the idea like this is absolutely true. There are fucking UFOs and shit. I don't, and I could look into other sources, but why would I? I want to believe this. So I make it work for myself,
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that we live in a post-truth world.
Exactly.
Facts don't matter. Only like gay Gen Xers and elder millennials, they really care about finding out the truth. Oh, the truth. I have these sources to back me up. But that doesn't make you smarter. It doesn't make you more complete to find it. And in most cases, it's actually blackpilling.
Yeah, actively trying to find the truth will just make you more deluded. You need to actively seek out what makes your life better. I don't know.
Right. True
Reinforce
ascension.
the truth. It's about the truth you believe in your soul. It's about what you feel should be. instead of what maybe facts and logic tell you.
This is starting to make me feel like a white woman talking like this a little bit.
Yeah,
but-
it kind of sounds like you could just call the ideology coping.
Somewhat.
Well, you did a great job selling it. I'm sure that the Grillish's whole mindset is shifted after hearing this riveting ideology that you pitched to us. Thank you for coming on and doing that. You know, I want to talk about Alex Jones too, because he's kind of a narrativist. Like when he's going out there saying
true.
like those Sandy Hook kids, you know, they weren't even real
well,
in the first place.
he's less of a narrativist and more of a prophet, to be honest.
Right. And that's a form of narrativism I prescribe to, is just believing whatever Alex Jones
Oh wait,
says.
fuck!
Because,
That's more white girl shit. That's just manifesting.
well, you know, Alex Jones, he made a triumphant return to Twitter. Did you guys see this? He's back. He's
did not.
back on Twitter. I'm sorry, not Twitter, X. X. You know, we need to all call it X. We all need to be respectful of Twitter's new pronouns, because my Grillas, were you aware that Twitter is a tranny? The platform itself is a tranny.
Indeed.
I'm gonna need an explanation on this one.
Okay, so from this is my perspective on the issue. We all, you know, Twitter is X now, and to me, this is so Elon Musk. He's created this allegory, in my opinion. We know he's this like online shit poster, but I think to him, this is sort of like an allegory to help the left understand how hard it is not to misgender people, because like we all know that it's Twitter. You know, people were taught to know it's always been Twitter. This is just a fact of life we've all accepted. And now you just expect a billion people to call it X. And you see the reactions to this.
Right. It was born as Twitter. It will always be Twitter. No matter how much, no matter what they say, how much they try and transition
How much
from a
hormone
libtard platform.
therapy.
How they try and transition from a libtard platform to a chud platform. We can still see, you know, in the face, in the bone structure, in their DNA itself. They'll
Twitter.
never be a real X. And it's interesting for me to watch this because I've seen a couple interviews where somebody talks to Elon Musk and they refer to it as Twitter, and Elon Musk says it's X now. It's X. And they apologize profusely. They say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please don't cancel me. I'm so sorry." They're scared, you know? They fear for their own life.
Do you think Elon knows what it feels like to be his kid now?
Yeah, his stupid trans kid. Good luck to that kid, right?
I think they'll be okay. Personally.
No, do you think so? You know, they might be the son of or daughter. I actually don't know what it is, of the richest man on the planet, but their own father doesn't respect the fact that they transition.
Yeah, they can't respect their pronouns, but expects the world to respect his website's pronouns.
I'm kind of excited for the kid to like become of age and dump $100 billion into perfectly transitioning. Like,
you're excited by this.
Oh, like a uterus transplant or something?
Yeah, I just want to see what exactly they do. I don't know. I mean, like, maybe they'll just turn into some like machine Borg, you know, cyborg thing that has a hologram of it. I don't know. I have no idea. What can you do with $100 billion if you put it into just that? I want to see what the potential is.
Yeah, you know, you're very excited to see this child transition. Alex Jones probably is too. We've seen his browsing history, unfortunately. I'm glad you're so enthusiastic about this process that this trans child will be undergoing.
But
very
back,
good
back
stuff.
to Elon himself, though, right?
Back to Elon himself, because, you know, to celebrate Alex Jones' triumphant return, which it is, I just want to put out there that I'm very happy that this is happening. Alex Jones did nothing wrong, ever. And I believe that full-heartedly. Never has done anything wrong.
Ever.
I bought hundreds of dollars of his merchandise. I am an unironic Alex Jones fan. And you might ask why? Why am I so invested in this man? And it's because he's one of the most based ranters of all time. He can cut a promo like no other. His human supremacy rant, my God. It changed me as a person. So Alex Jones has a Twitter space with Elon Musk, Andrew Tate, Vivec Ramaswamy, an all-star studded cast that we have here. And I pulled a couple clips from it, not too many, because most of them were the same as whenever Elon goes on a space, and every rightoid tries to just suck him off as much as possible. Oh, you're changing the world, Elon. Oh, you're so cool and not fucking gay at all,
Completely
dude.
autistic.
Look, I understand the grift. I respect the grift. But there was one clip in particular that really stood out to me. And this was by General Flynn. Are you guys familiar with General Flynn?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
I kind of
A little
remember
bit.
him as like a guy that there was some controversy.
Well, he's like a super based and red-pilled epic QAnon general. He was in the military, and now he'll come out and say the election was stolen, okay? He will say there are pedophiles occupying pizza shops around the country. This is a guy who's super based and red-pilled, bros. And he came on to ask one very pertinent question to Elon and Alex, one that could shift the entire dichotomy of the world that we exist in today. So with that, I'll go ahead and roll this clip.
General?
Yeah, thank you, Mario. Thanks for hosting this thing. You're doing a wonderful job. This is really a question for Alex and Elon, a statement, and I wish Andrew and Vivec were still on, but we've talked about these different sort of array of forces between the globalists and the humanists, or whatever the right descriptors are. Yeah, what I would really like to see, and I would love to hear Vivec's take on it, because I think he's such a wonderful debater.
Jesus.
I'd like to know if there's possibility to set up a intellectual debate between, the Alex Jones, Elon Musk, Andrew Tate, Vivec, probably throw Tucker in there. Maybe there's Joe Rogan, against an intellectual debate against the Klaus Schwab's, the Bill Gateses of the world. And then there's others.
They won't do it because we'll kill them.
Well, but
What a retarded question. What an absolutely brain dead fucking question to ask.
Yeah.
Rightoid Marvel, assemble! We have Iron Man, fucking Andrew Tate. We have, I actually don't know the rest of the Marvel guys because I'm not gay. But you just assemble all these guys and get Klaus Schwab in there and the Rothschilds. They'll be on the other side, right? And we'll have an intellectual debate. The final battle between good and evil.
Where's Ben Shapiro? Where's Ben Shapiro?
Bro.
Ideological Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, what do you...
No, but you will eat the bug. Like, doesn't that kind of prove at that point that they aren't controlling the world if they would come on Twitter?
I won't eat
debate
the bug.
space.
No, that's actually not something I do. I control the wealth of nations. I don't get into some stupid spat on Twitter. I mean, Elon shouldn't either, really, but fuck.
Guys, what if we had internet blood sports with people that mattered?
What if
Wouldn't
Alex
that be
Jones,
crazy?
why don't we just have you and Kyle Schwab get in a boxing ring?
Yeah.
I liked Alex
Influential
Jones
boxing,
too.
yeah.
His response being like, "Well, they wouldn't come on because we'd kill them politically. We'd kill them politically."
Rhetorically demolish them. Yeah,
They're gonna take that out of context. They're gonna.
How do those words leave your lips? Like, I don't understand how you. That's like something a 3-year-old would ask. That's what a toddler
It's
would
like,
say.
God, what's that? There was some bit on Norm Macdonald's show where he had his co-host ask the guest comedian, "Where do you get your ideas?" And it was just like, they go, "What?" And it's like that type of just like, what are you talking about?
this guy.
I will say. Oh, go ahead.
This guy was a real general. Like, he was directing
Yeah,
our armed forces in engagements. Shouldn't he understand cornering your adversary, or isn't that somewhat applicable? Maybe the insurgents aren't gonna meet you like, why doesn't the Taliban just show up in the desert for a mano 1v1 fight? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a similar scenario. Like, I don't know.
The Chuds will wax poetic about how, like, oh, they're trying to push all of our guys out and replace them with globalists. But it's like, if that's the guy you're replacing, then go ahead, globalists. I'll let you take it.
Why are they avoiding direct conflict and just continuing to control the narrative?
Why are
with
they
their
being
vast
subversive?
influence?
And I will say, to the rest of to the Chud's credit, they were taken aback by this. It did take a little bit. He had to keep going. There was a moment of silence, and he kept rambling. He really knows how to ramble. He makes kind of no fucking sense. But he does go on and continue to clarify what he meant and extract an answer from Alex Jones and Elon Musk. So we'll play that.
Or however, I would love to see them come on X to do this. This would be wonderful.
Let me Alex, would you be open, you and Elon, would you be open for such a debate?
Well, let me just throw this in because I'm chomping at the bit here, and then Elon will take over. It should be on X. They had the last Republican debate, and it had like 5 million viewers. This is going to have 50 million viewers. We keep acting like dinosaur media even still matters. It should only be held on X. And I would love to see it in this format or with an added video component to it.
Yes.
Challenge their intellectual ideas.
So
I'm sorry.
Coming soon.
That's my point. That's my point. Yeah. We have to challenge their intellectual arguments.
Yeah, I agree with you, General. What's
Mario?
Hold on, Laura.
I was just going to say that from a future standpoint, we are working on adding video to spaces. So it'll just be a simple thing where you can turn video on or off, and then whoever's speaking at the video will switch to them, just like if it's like a group call or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow! You're gonna add video to your platform? Oh wow! Whoa!
It's gonna be like a Zoom
revolutionary.
meeting. Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Hey, you guys remember Skype? Yeah. We're actually gonna implement that.
We're working on that.
Wow!
We're working on that.
We're trying to get it to work. It's very complicated stuff.
This is the Rightoid Avengers assembled, all talking over each other, unable to clearly articulate anything for over a minute.
Alex just going, it's X. It's X. X.
I'm just saying, if we're going to have this, we got to host it on X. Elon, right? My boy. My man.
Yeah, well,
right,
if we can get the Skype working, then possibly it could be
Dude, if Elon really cared, he'd pay for Alex Jones's entire lawsuit right now.
Yeah.
I do like shifting the goalposts because I've said before, Elon's a bitch unless he lets Alex Jones back on Twitter. Now that he's done that, I'm going to be like, unless he pays for his entire lawsuit and gives him $1 million salary. He's a faggot.
You stand for free speech? Really?
Yeah, that's the Chud Avengers that's being assembled, and that's what we have to look forward to. That's our future. That's Gen X and elder millennials' response to every boomer conservative dying off, and they're being replaced now. They're being replaced, and this is what we have to look forward to.
I was just going to mention that. Did they talk about the Great Replacement and your Vivec's favorite conspiracy theory?
They have not, but we'll get into that one later.
Okay.
We do have that on the board today.
Okay.
We also have a man who was cucked, a man who lost it all,
fallen from
grace, an emperor with no clothes, and that would be Destiny, Stephen Bonnell III. Recently, news came out that Emperor and Kingmaker of the liberal online debate sphere, Destiny, he's been hoisted by his own retard, my Grillas. Can you believe this?
Indeed.
His open marriage has faltered. It's crumbled.
No way.
One might say
unbelievable.
One might say that he was destined to be cucked.
Yeah. Fucking got him there. And, we have some clips of his Cope stream to go over because he released a stream addressing the drama, going out there, making his point heard, his truth known.
Well,
and
do we know what exactly happened that led to the dissolution of the... Is he talking about it in this clip, or...
He was emotionally unavailable.
Yeah, I do have some background to establish for our Grillas today, because not everybody's caught up to it. I want to make it clear exactly what
explain
went
it for
down
the folks
here.
at home.
Right, so she left him, Stephen Bonnell III, Melina, left him for a 5'4" jobless Swedish man.
Wait, she left him for someone that's shorter?
Yeah, somehow she found the only man shorter than Destiny on the planet.
And, like, facially deformed, dude. And, like, he's, like, deformed and, like, so scrawny. Like, he's probably, like, a 100-pound... Like, he's Swedish. He's not Irish. He's not, like, some kind of strange leprechaun thing. I mean, you never know. There's all sorts of shit in Swedish mythology, too. I don't know. I don't really understand it.
Well, what he did, because her and Destiny were in an open marriage, she met this man, traveling around Sweden, visiting her family and whatnot, a fellow content creator, and, he threatened to kill himself unless she left Destiny.
Classic.
He had this, ultra manipulation grind set that he employed on this stupid Swedish whore, and it worked like a charm. It was amazing. And this is, a teaching lesson for any incels in our audience today. You can overcome anything. You can be a goblin man, 5'4", jobless, destitute, broken. But if you just manipulate correctly, if you just use your big brain.
Threaten to kill yourself. A motor response from them. If they don't listen, then just do it and traumatize them for life.
Yeah. Either way, you win. And so also, Stephen Bonnell III stole his now estranged wife, from another man that she was in an open relationship. That's something that I feel is important. The cycle continues. It's done a full 360 and walked away. It's really just desserts,
How could he have foreseen this?
Yeah, fucking Swedes, dude. This is really a lesson about fucking Swedes, to be honest.
I am hesitant to call Swedish people. They are heartless. Their icy cold hearts reflect their icy cold environment.
Let's get to the cope. Let's get to the coping and the seething.
Okay, but one thing I want to point out first, because there's a lot of people dabbing on Destiny right now, a lot of red pillars and whatnot, saying, well, it was an open marriage. I told you that that's going to lead to your demise and to your destruction. And that's a midwit take, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. The most obvious thing in the world, that having sex with people outside of your marriage is going to cause problems, and then gloating about it, wearing it as a badge of honor. You're not smart for having pointed that out. That's something that anyone could surmise just by being, briefly aware of the situation. The real reason his marriage fell apart is because he's a bad person. Because he himself is a failure of a human being in his relationships with not only his wife, but with his own child as well. With anybody in his life. And I think that these clips that I brought today are going to illustrate that fact. I'm going to wax poetic. I'm going to weave a tapestry for the Grillas today and prove my thesis here. So we'll start off his divorce cope stream. He's ranting and raving about the only thing that's still good in his life, the only thing he has to live for, and that'd be his new stimulant addiction. Now, for context, before this clip,
right? New.
Well, that's what he says anyway. For context, he says that he's been on it for a few months now, Vyvanse, Adderall, that sort of thing. And he actually ran out of his prescribed medical meth. He ran out of it. And like any healthy, totally non-addicted person, he went on his public Twitter account and begged for one of his fans to sell him more. Perhaps in exchange for a quick blowjob. Who knows?
Okay, wait.
Who knows what he was offering?
Wait a second. Look, there's nothing wrong for begging people for not like...
If you're an electronic celebrity and you're like, please, I ran out! Someone help! That's not a good look.
Look,
It really is.
I'm sure he's like me, and he has legitimate undiagnosed ADD, and sometimes you just really
Some medicinal crack cocaine.
Let's let him talk about it. And I want you to look at his face while he's talking here. The nigga is tweaking out. Undoubtedly. He is beginning his tweaker phase. And I will opine upon that after this clip.
Why tweet about buying illegal drugs? Can't you go to a pharmacy? I'm trying to I have to get a new doctor on my prescription. That's the only issue I have right now. She wants to prescribe me, it was either 10 or 20 milligrams of Vivec. So I'm like, bro. And now she wants to switch me to Adderall when I said I do way better on
Look at that,
Vivec.
Josh.
Oh
Why
my
the fuck would I
God.
switch to Adderall when I know that this works perfectly and has for like over a month? Why the fuck would you switch me to a whole different drug? Fuck that. Wait, real quick. Self-diagnosing now, genius. Okay, so I'm not even gonna ban you. Number one, technically, I'm not self-diagnosed. I am diagnosed by somebody else with ADHD. If you're talking about self-medicating, yeah, you figure out like the appropriate dose of a medicine that helps you. The only difference is I didn't titrate up to it normally because I started out on a pretty high dose. Yeah, I have no idea how you started out at 70. I didn't start at 70. I started at 20 milligrams of Adderall, and now I do 60 milligrams of Vivec. So I'm doing that for a month and a half. I understand for side effects and everything. The thing is, the only reason why I haven't like backed it down to
Fucking
40 is
heart
I didn't
attack
feel much.
stream
I didn't
incoming.
really feel anything at 40. But also, I have like no negative side effects. I'm not like shaky. I can sleep just fine. My mood is super elevated. My like every single
It basically
thing in my
feels
life,
like I'm on
is,
crack
like,
all the time.
Super good. So like I don't know why I would change my medication or do something different.
Yeah, that's a crack.
It's so weird. I feel
right
good.
there.
I'm on amphetamines and I feel really good. It's really weird.
Bro, dog, you have to understand, I have to take 60 milligrams of Vyvanse every day. Everything in my life feels better when I do. Now, look, I've associated with a lot of reprobates in my life, and I can tell you, like, from experience, this is exactly what the beginning of a hardcore stimulant addiction sounds like.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, you don't understand, dude. I feel amazing. Everything is great. There's literally no downsides, and anyone telling me different just doesn't get it.
Can I?
Someone else with ADD fucking diagnosed me. Can you just admit that you don't have it and it just rules to be high as a kite off amphetamines? Can you just admit that?
Can we get a consensus here? Like, ADHD isn't real. You guys don't believe that bullshit where people are like, my brain chemistry
Not
is
really.
different, so Adderall
No.
affects me differently. You don't
Not at all.
understand. Like, since I have like a different brain chemistry, it's not that Adderall just makes me better at schoolwork because it does for everybody.
It actually calms me down.
It actually calms me down. You guys,
I'm not having heart palpitations.
we're
right
on the
now.
same page there. That's total bullshit. Like, the pharmaceutical companies just want to sell drugs to kids, and like ADHD is like a personality type, maybe that's mostly just like shut the fuck up and take these pills.
I'm not going to deny that some people function better on amphetamines.
Yeah, most people.
And they
function
Everyone
better.
does. That's why people do that. That's why people get addicted.
Okay,
Yeah.
addendum to that statement that everyone functions better on amphetamines.
I will say
At first.
there is a difference where some people, like probably Destiny, take that and are like, I need to keep upping my dose. And some people, like, the mentality of this is a medication and okay, I'll take my 20 milligrams of Adderall and that's fine. That's probably good. And some people are like, I need to keep raising the dose. And that's where you get into some pretty serious trouble, really. But,
Bro, his doctor's trying to cut him off. His doctor's like, I think you're doing too much. I don't think this is good. And he's like, no, dude, you just don't
What the
understand.
hell? You just gave me the drugs, and now you're taking away the drugs, and I really wanted the drugs, and now you're taking them away.
Someone on Twitter, please give me more drugs because my doctor won't allow me to have more because I need them.
you're a doctor and noted lib debater. Destiny is spurging out in your
Just imagine-
office high on
just
amphetamines. Like, trying to tell you why he needs more amphetamines.
He's sitting on the little fucking paper sheet on the fucking doctor's bed. His legs dangling
in the
Yeah,
air.
'cause they don't reach the ground. I don't understand why you're changing my dose. When you just gave me this dose, and now you're changing it right now.
Actually,
Well, I mean,
you know
like
that-
you're telling me.
these are my subjective feelings. I feel like I need more of this, and you're really declining.
I could give you
patient-
17 studies right now that show that altering the dose of the medication mid-treatment has a negative side effect.
Are you really informed on this issue?
Do you have a source for your claim? What are your qualifications?
Oh, you have an MD in what? General physician, family pediatrician.
It's fucking, dude, it's nuts.
Is that why you let me in here? Because I look like a child?
Dude, it's just nuts. Like, this is absolutely what went down. But he thinks he knows better. He always thinks he knows better. And I would wager that his developing stimulant addiction is exactly why his marriage dissolved, as well as other things. So in the context of the stream, all of his viewers expected this to be like a tell-all dumping of everything that went down. A real Spurgfest for everyone to watch. A manifesto on his estranged wife, or a mellifesto, as he calls it. You know, real cute wording there, dropping a bunch of information on his wife for hundreds of thousands of people.
A spilling of the
see.
tea.
A spilling of the tea. But in this next clip, he explains why he chooses to take the high on Adderall road. Remember, I just want you to know, he's actually a good guy in this situation. Everyone going out there sweeping it up for him. All of his teat-sucking fucking, little streamer buddies that just say, oh, leave him alone. He never did nothing wrong. He's a good boy. Just remember that he's a good guy.
Of all the possible paths today that I discussed with a lot of people, I basically took the most cucked route. But out of whatever respect or undying love I still have for my wife, that's we'll see where that winds up, and we'll see where that ends up in a few months. I don't know, but okay.
And that right there comes across to me as an implicit threat. We'll see where this ends up in a few months. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, what could happen in the next few months? Divorce proceedings, alimony being decided. Really interesting. Oh, yeah, I have all this stuff that I could drop, but, I'm not going to do it because I'm such a good guy, but I have all this ammo. I have some nuclear bombs that I'm going to fucking waste you with. But you know what? I'm actually really cool.
I mean, I can't hold that.
That would mean something if he thought that it could actually like destroy her life, but she's like an e-thought, so literally nothing's going to affect her existence.
Yeah, probably not. I mean,
I disagree with that entirely.
Oh.
The best way to destroy an e-thought is to sick thousands of fucking retarded 16-year-olds in your audience on her, giving her negative attention, saying, you fucking bitch, you whore. Look what Destiny spilled about you.
They're still going to pay for OnlyFans.
I respect holding.
That's true.
I respect holding his ammo and making a threat there. You know what I mean? Like, they're about to enter divorce proceedings. Like, absolutely. I respect his, veiled threat there of, bitch, if you try and take, like, all my shit, I'm gonna tell the world how much of a whore you are in, like, a lot of words. I'm gonna use my platform and be like, I don't know what he'd say about her. He'd probably be nasty as fuck, though, knowing these people, like,
Can you imagine being a 34-year-old man and being like, I'm gonna drop the hot goss on my estranged wife?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
What fucked up people, dude. And, he goes on in this next clip to actually clarify what might actually prod him into releasing this manifesto that he's compiled. He has the bombs. He has them ready to launch. He has the launch key cocked, ready to go. Let's see what would make him actually do it.
What would she have to publicly say about you for you to go, you know what, fuck it, manifesto? I mean, like, if I felt like she went live and started like lying about me, obviously, like, okay, well, now we have to have a conversation about this.
So we're at a stalemate. That's what I've gathered. The Adderall-addicted Coomer Ghoul versus the Swedish whore in a Cold War, each with their own nuclear bombs waiting to be dropped.
Yeah, and when he says lie about him, that makes me, like, I don't know, especially with his, like, tweaker demeanor, that makes me think there's some not-so-lies she could drop about it. I mean, which there probably are. I mean, honestly, like, you're married to someone, you're in a relationship with them, they probably know some things about you that you don't.
I mean, he's a self-admitted weirdo.
Yeah, and especially when you're, like, a weirdo, like these people clearly are. Like, I feel like he's got something in mind there. You know, he's like, if you say this, like I'm gonna say this. Like that's the arms race of e-celebs. Yeah, that's the arms race of e-celebs and this kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there that I feel like she's not smart enough to make convincing lies about him or juicy lies. Like, it would all be true.
Yeah.
But the way he frames it, I'm a good guy, you know, I wouldn't go out of my way to do that if she was saying the truth, but only if lies are dropped.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't buy that.
Yeah. Lies. Yeah, it's interesting to me that is what he goes for immediately instead of like I've dealt with a lot of, you know, old people that have been through horrible divorces, and it's always about the money. And the money is honest. You know, if he was like, look, if that whore tries to take like all my goddamn money, I'm going to say terrible things about her. You know what I mean? That would be like, all right, King, like I get you. But if she starts telling lies about me, you know what I mean? Then it's like, what are you hiding, man?
Well, there's a lot, and I hope that she finds the gumption to drop it so that we can cover it and laugh at the corpse of this tiny man. Now, in this next clip, we have a 34-year-old man. I just, you know, really need to make that clear. This guy's 34. Like, you know, remember when your dad was like 34? Like, can you imagine him bragging about his most recent hoe arc over the last 3 months? Could you imagine this? Well, he's gonna do it. Let's watch.
He uses?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Dustin, you planning a hoe arc? I am significantly slowing down on that. My hoe arc the past 3 months has been unhinged. Actually unhinged. There was a day a month and a half ago where I think I hooked up with a chick. I flew out of my city. I went to another city. I met a chick there for lunch. I fucked her afterwards, and then that night I had a threesome with 2 friends. My past 2 months have been way too much. I'm hardcore pulling back on that. Because also I need to but also part of this is because I'm just like looking for hookups and not like deeper romantic connections. So maybe that'll change.
Look at that jaw shake.
But
he's tweaking.
Yeah,
so
I have to
hard,
pull back hardcore on a lot of because the past 2 months have been unhinged for me.
Bro, now this whole stream, you know, there's parts I didn't clip out about how he was unable to give his wife the attention she needed. That's basically what he said. But he's able to fly out to different cities to fuck random e-girls? Like, when do you think the last time he flew out to see his son was? Poor Nathan Bonnell, okay, shivering, cold, alone, abandoned in a Nebraskan cornfield. When's the last time he went out to see poor little Nathan Bonnell? That's what I'm asking.
Look, man, you know, you're in the middle of a deep amphetamine binge, and, you know, he says he's doing just this prescribed shit, but he's probably doing some coke too. You're facing, and you're like, what am I going to do with my day today? You're looking at flights online. You got your DMs from some thirsty bitches in some city. You're already high on cocaine, and then you've got your pleading messages from your son, and you're like, which flight do I take? You're like, you know, like, maybe I'm fucked up too, but maybe
Dad,
I get it.
Please, Spirit's only $50 for a round trip.
That's the problem.
Sorry, son, I have to fuck mid-e-girls. Sorry, poor little Nathan Bonnell, shivering cold, alone and abandoned in a Nebraskan cornfield. You'll just have to be alone one more day. And then one more day after. Look, isn't it interesting that his coomerism accelerated when he started taking stimulants? He says a month and a half ago, right? He had this huge hoe arc. But no, they aren't slowly ruining his life. They're helping him. He feels great. Hey, everything's wonderful.
You know what, Nathan? You know what I'll do? I can link you. I can link your socials under my next stream, so I can do it for you, Nathan.
Dude, I was watching a show that he was on when he first abandoned his son in a Nebraskan cornfield, shivering, cold, and alone. And he talked about how he's like, well, you know, I moved to LA for the opportunities that it provides, but you know, I still keep up with my son over Discord. He literally treats his son like a pay pig, like someone who gives him $100 a month to play video games on Discord with him. It's disgusting, dude. It's gross. It's an absolute moral failure of the highest caliber. And I'm supposed to believe that this is the savior of the West, that this is a libtard king, that, he's so honorable and virtuous, and we shouldn't bully him about his life falling apart and his amphetamine addiction. No, that's bad. He's a good guy. I don't buy it, my Grillas.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the people sweeping it up for him, the people that are going out of their way to go to bat and say, just respect his privacy. He's having a hard time, bros. Just leave him alone, man. In this next clip, he talks about how he's been controlling the narrative, and he's proud of it. He's happy about it.
Turkey Tom's video was weird. Maybe. He messaged me and he asked me if he could do it. And I was like, oh, and I set a boundary. I think I did. Because initially I was going to respond. And I was like, bro, knock yourself out. Just because we're friends, I don't want to limit the content you can do. And then I deleted that. And I was like, you can make a video if you want, but please don't just hardcore shit on me. I made that request. It was a hard one to make and I did it. I was proud of myself for it. Oh, yeah. I said, yeah, you're good. Just try not to shit on me too hard. There you go.
Please, Turkey Tom.
Is the Is the chat just full of people being like, bro, like turn off the stream? You're clearly super high on amphetamines.
That was a bit of the chat. There were some people there making that observation.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's pretty bad.
But he's too smart to listen to his chat,
dude,
he's too smart to listen to them. He's so big brain.
Every clip I see, I'm just like, bro, you're tweaking. I mean, that's not prescribed tweaking. That's you're tweaking, my man. You don't want to be in public like that, talking about your relationship issues. Holy fuck.
If you're abusing your prescription drugs and then running out early and then begging for your Twitter followers to sell you their script, then I could see how you would tweak that hard.
Yeah.
To be fair. But, when I watch this clip, when I watch him say how smug and how proud of himself he is for controlling the narrative, for making his cronies sweep it up, to me, this is one of Destiny's worst sins. He's created a cabal of dick-sucking sycophants, and they feed from his teeth. They feed from it. They suckle upon it for just a drop of his audience. He's proud of this. He's proud of this. He thinks that this is success. He's instructing his underlings to sweep it up for him. He's proud that he's forcing their compliance, that he's forcing their silence. This is a man who fancies himself a god amongst the gay debate streamer sphere.
Yeah, this is the inverse of an overdose on facts and logic. On one end, you have Destiny, Stephen Bonnell, and then on the other side of that, you have Ben Shapiro.
You don't understand, bro. They have genuine relationships. These are his friends.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro and Destiny are supposed to debate soon.
Really?
I heard it from a bird in the sky, yeah.
Ooh,
that would be great.
That would be amazing.
I think I would kill myself, honestly. I don't know if I can pull clips from that. I might die of cringe.
They should have Tim
the
Pool
force
there
from
to
them
host.
speaking so fast is just gonna cause a dimensional rift.
Dude, maybe Ben Shapiro should start Adderall too.
You have Ben Shapiro and Destiny up on the debate stage. They both have fucking EKG monitors hooked up to them.
That's the future that we're hopeful for here at the Grillcast. Hopefully they both die, That's the takeaway there. And now you might think that this was a learning experience. Maybe Destiny could see, the sum of his actions, of his moral failings, and say to himself, wow, I'm gonna do my life differently from now on. My next relationship isn't gonna be the exact same thing.
Uh-oh.
Well, let's see his outlook on the future and what it holds.
And then also, relationships end. It happens, As sad as it might be, not every relationship is going to last forever. I'll predict this right now, okay? I'm 34, 35 tomorrow, without my wife on my birthday. Feels good, man. I'll probably get into another relationship. It will probably be an open relationship, and it will also probably end at some point, because I don't know if the next person I start dating is going to be the person I'm with. Or not. It'll happen, and then when it happens, people will run through, depending on how alive or dead they were. It's the same argument. Oh,
he's talking so fast.
That's life, Sometimes you try, it doesn't work. What are you going to do?
Yeah, the thing about that is usually when you marry someone, the idea is not to do that.
Right.
That'll be a great clip for his next girlfriend to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Probably not that one either. I'm just going to lose half my shit again.
There'll probably
make more
also
money.
be some dumb whore who's not put off by that at all. That looks
That's
at that
true.
and says, "Yeah, that's marriage material."
That
Because
makes
at the
total
very
sense.
least, at the very least, he's cognizant of the fact that he's never going to learn that he's going to continue to put cooming above his wife, above his child, above basic human decency, and that the wake of destruction he leaves in his path is both inevitable and imminent. He knows this, and he knows he's incapable of changing. This demon that lays within him is one that cannot be excised.
I like
E-thought
I-
addiction.
I like to think that like whenever his whoever he's with, they start bringing up Nathan, and then he just pushes them to go fuck other people more, so that they don't bother him with that subject matter.
Bro, we watched that stream one time where he's arguing with his wife, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, why aren't you going and fucking more guys?" He literally just wants to be left alone.
Yeah,
That's what he wants. It's like, why even get married at that point, man? That's his second wife, by the way. The first one he had a child with, who he abandoned in a Nebraskan cornfield.
yeah. I don't understand why you can't just go find other people and fuck them. She leaves him. Well, yeah, relationships just end. It's just something that happens.
Your second marriage just ends when you're 34. It happens.
It's both inevitable and, totally just a natural consequence of being in a relationship. Is it ending because of your moral failings? Yeah, that checks out, dude. Fucking retard. So, lastly, in our last clip of this today, he describes why the beta male, 5'4", jobless suicide baiter, was successful in stealing his wife from him. Why he was able to do this. And then, after this clip, I'm going to cut a promo on Stephen Bonnell III.
When I say that jobless beta males are able to seduce women better, right? That's my way of
That's the guy,
emotionally
by the way.
negatively loading what they are, right? I
Hell
would say, how
yeah.
does this jobless beta fuck compete with me when I'm like wealthy, successful, ambitious, blah, 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 right? I'm positively loading my good traits and I'm negatively loading their bad traits. But you could just as easily spin that as like, how is Destiny like the cold, quasi-stoic, like emotionally detached, like neglectful fucking husband, right? Why would he expect to keep somebody versus somebody that's like warmer,
Stoic.
compassionate, more emotionally caring, more validating, right? You could just as easily twist it the other way. So
All right, and then I'm going to cut a promo here. Give me one second.
Did he actually put that picture up in his stream?
No, I put those up.
Oh, okay.
That is a Grillcast original, transformative content. So here we go, my grillas. Stephen Bonnell III, you fancy yourself a wealthy man, a successful man, a stoic and detached man. You believe yourself to be the cream of the crop, a man who deserved to have his cake and to eat it too. But know this! It's here that you become hoisted by your own retard, Stephen. You've abandoned your son in the pursuit of coomerism, leaving him to wither away in a Nebraskan cornfield. Let me be clear here, Nathan Bonnell will tune out, knowing that the only way to garner your attention is to become the e-girl you abandoned him for. You've emotionally abandoned your second wife in the pursuit of coomerism. She has sought refuge in the arms of a 5'4" Swedish twink because of your numerous moral failings and developing stimulant addiction. You lost her because your success is that of a gay internet debate emperor. The successes you tout are a house of cards in the process of collapsing, as all of your marriages have, as your relationship with your soul heir has, and as the very basis of your humanity and soul have. People are beginning to see that the gay internet debate emperor has no clothes, Stephen Bonnell. To your estranged second wife, Melina, you are no longer her American boy. You are a nightmare from which she has awakened from. She has freed herself from your coom-covered shackles and ascended, Stephen Bonnell III, and you have no one to blame but yourself. So yeah, that's what we have on Stephen Bonnell III. I do believe his demise is imminent. That this is a downhill slope he's going to be hitting. And, he'll still have some pops. He has enough clout now that he's going to be able to ride it for a while. But you can clearly see in all those clips where he's tweaking out, where he looks like a guy that's in front of the grocery store asking you for change, his arms shaking wildly. You can see that his demise is inevitable. And I'm here for it. To watch a man who's such a failure morally. That's the thing, too, that people need to understand. He is evil. Ontologically evil. The worst person on the planet. Worse than Hitler. Worse than Klaus Schwab. And he's getting what he fucking deserves.
A false prophet.
Amphetamine breakdowns are always the best breakdowns. If you're going to see someone go, that's the best way to see it.
Yeah, fentanyl fucking breakdowns are just like, oh, I slumped over and died.
It's hard to believe he went from defending the use of the N-word in Kyle Rittenhouse to this.
He went from defending the use of the N-word to becoming the N-word. My Grillas. And with that, we will move on to Micah's next topic here. My friend, go ahead and present us.
Yes.
Weave a tapestry.
Yes, we have been presented with a tremendous opportunity, my Grillas. Tinder, as you may know, is a popular dating app, and they have recently launched a $500 monthly subscription program. And before you, stick your nose up at this pricey offering, this new feature allows users to ignore female preferences, message them without matching. Okay, you get to display a badge that says "I'm extremely rich." It filters your feed also, so you only get seen by the most premier whores. Okay, and aside from that, you also retain the basic Tinder feature of being able to lie to women to get laid.
At what point do you just go hire prostitutes?
Well, that's the subtext, Orion. I think it's been known for a long time that Tinder is just a prostitution business, and they're offering this service to help streamline the functions of that business, because before it was very arduous. The process for a guy willing to pay $500 for sex, to send that message on the app is a difficult thing. But now, it makes things a lot easier for men, but also for the prostitutes. They no longer have to engage in small talk and pretend to be interested in the guy. So overall, I recommend this service. I think it's a smart business decision.
One thing that I've noticed over the last decade, as our culture has shifted to a more online culture, more terminally online, is that big tech companies have become the pimps. Between OnlyFans, now Tinder, obviously the famous example of Backpage and Craigslist when those were operational. Mm-hmm. Those ones got smitten. They got strike down because they were too brazen and open about their operation. But once you have, Tinder Premium for $500, once you have OnlyFans a month, and once you have OnlyFans that, makes millions of dollars, probably kicks that up the chain. These digital pimps now exist and are able to continue their business unimpeded. It's an interesting development for sure, watching that, because that's what this is. It's just they're pimps. They're pimping these stupid whores out that see the $500 badge and say, "Hey, maybe someone will raise my half-black son for me because he has a lot of money."
I do wonder, is that something, look, I understand that there's a lot of gold digging whores, but the desperation factor to spend $500 on Tinder, you know what I mean?
Well, but it's a reflection of reality, because if you're 5'5", you've got the fucking face built like a waffle iron, and you're bald, but then you have this badge there, then it offers you a chance. It offers you a real chance at love.
Well, if you're a 5'5" ghoul, as our based king who stole Destiny's wife away displayed, all you have to do is threaten to kill yourself. You can save the money.
That's what people really need to learn. That's what we have to teach these people. That's what I wonder too, is who's the saddest person paying $500 a month for this right now? Dude, imagine there's somebody going into debt for it.
Is the next Tinder feature just pay $1,000 to book a session with a match?
It should be. It really should be.
It would be honest.
Yeah, at least fuck it. $1,000.
Basically, as soon as I guarantee you, as soon as prostitution is legalized, that happens.
They don't
That-
even need
that
to,
happens
they don't
immediately.
even need to legalize
Tinder will do-
prostitution. Here's what Tinder does, all right? They make it 1,000, like if there's people paying this $500, like make it whatever, $500 guaranteed date with one of our highly rated people, and then they're like, hey, women,
rated.
you can put down, like, I'm down for a date for $200, $300 or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't need to. Yeah, it doesn't need to be prostitution. They'll fucking pay it.
Very true. Very true. And I do hope that that's the next evolution as our society collapses into the tech lord pimp sphere, becoming this. You know, that would be at least an honest development, one that you could look at and say, yeah,
It would
you
just
know,
cut back on
it was
all the
inevitable.
awkwardness and the lies and the, oh, what are you interested in? And, what are you looking to get out of this? And like, who fucking cares?
God, I actually was looking at a graph the other day. It was posted somewhere, and it was showing that like 70 or 75 or something % of relationships now start with online dating. I mean, that really is like a tremendous amount of power that we place with these companies, Like, I don't know.
Trust the algorithm, Marcy. Trust the algorithm.
Yeah, or trusted to an algorithm. I mean, I don't know. All right.
The very nature of our sexual relationships, of our own reproduction, of the entire health of the fabric of our society.
Society.
You know, our entire health of our society being predicated on the whims of these big tech pimps. That might be a problem, is what you're saying? I don't know. That sounds a little crazy to me.
No, but the thing you don't understand is that at least this way, men aren't approaching women in bookstores or whatever.
Yeah, God forbid.
This makes it comfortable and cool and easy.
Yeah, it does the filtering out for them. And that's what this really is. The entire online dating industry. While it appeals to mostly men, it's mostly men using it, right? It was really created for the gynocracy. For the benefit of women to not have to deal with guys who are gross going up to them and being like, dude, can I like have a crumb of pussy, please? Just like a little bit. Like, come on, bro.
How about a $1,000 feature Tinder subscription where you can geolocate your matches?
That would be dope. Let's just open up. Look, they have the information.
Oh my god, Mary, right?
Would that be even illegal to like do that? I mean, it's not like they can't buy the fucking data from Google. They can sell this. Google sells this fucking data. Yeah,
Tinder has location services enabled already.
Yeah.
That's why it's like 2 miles from you or whatever. Yeah, they could absolutely just airdrop the pin to you and be like, all right, go crazy, nigga.
Go get her.
Just start sprinting.
You have like the geolocate, like your fucking Amazon.
It starts
pops
beeping
up.
faster as you get closer to them.
An Amazon ad pops up with like a net and a ski mask.
Beep,
Bro.
beep, 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 beep.
Okay, but what about when, like, have you guys seen the Tinder Swindler?
Yeah, I love that. That is the fucking best shit. That guy is such a king.
Explain for the folks at home.
So for my grillers who may not know, this was a guy, he was in Europe, he was, an Israeli citizen, but he basically, he would rent jets, he would rent, like, all the cool, shiny shit like Andrew Tate does, and then he would match chicks on Tinder as a rich guy in a nice suit, and they would add him, and basically he would manipulate them over the course of a couple weeks to, drain their bank accounts for him. Because he can totally pay them back. And then he would parlay that money into swindling the next thought, having her take out hundreds of thousands of dollars of loans and flying off.
His scam was better than that. He played upon what he did was he said he was like a Saudi diamond dealer, right? And then,
Israeli diamond dealer, but yeah.
But I don't think he said he was Israeli. He said he was from somewhere dangerous, And then he'd meet with them and he'd be like, he'd show off all his rich shit and be like, yeah, I'm like rich and I'm dangerous. And there's a chick talking about it where he was like sending her photos of like he's like, my bodyguard got shot, and like he'd hint to these women that there was someone after him. He's playing the romance novel danger thing. Like, he'd get these women caught up in this psychological James Bond movie, you know, where he'd like fly them on private planes. And they're like, oh my God, he's so into me and he's so dangerous. And then,
women just like adventure. Didn't you know that?
That's how he'd play them. That psychological angle is what made it genius. What made it genius was playing on this angle where they wanted to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And he'd put the whole play on for them, and then they'd take out all these loans in his name. He'd be like, I can't access my banks because, like, the bad guys are
They can track it. They can track the banks.
Yeah, and then
I need your money.
And then he took all that money and rolled on some other bitch with it. It was incredible. His top 10 king. And yeah, and my other favorite part of that documentary was when they tracked down his mom, who was living in some like shithole apartment in Jerusalem, and she's like, "Yeah, no."
It was literally like some West Gaza apartment that they had just fucking colonized. Like, it was a rundown shithole, yeah. And she's like, "My son is a piece of shit. I not seen him for years. Go away."
He's out. He's out too. He didn't get in like really any trouble for any of that.
No, he got.
What did he do? He didn't do
no,
anything
he did
illegal.
Actually. He got charged with stuff, and then Israel was like, and then he fled back to Israel, and Israel was like, we're not charging him for any of that, and that was it. And he has a bunch of money again. He's like chilling.
What wouldn't charge him for any of that.
No, Israel is like, what, you defrauded the Goyim? Like, okay, bro.
So basically,
sorry.
You know, so basically, when I look at that, what if that guy had access to the $500 thing? Would then Tinder be in any way liable for the stupid decision they made to take out hundreds of thousands of dollars of loans to give this guy?
No.
Like, would there be like some sort of like, well, you made it so he could contact me?
No. What do you mean?
They
just put it in the terms of service. So. They put it in the terms of service. They're like, yeah, if you get defrauded by a Israeli schemer,
Chad King,
private jet, that's on you, and it's actually not our. I mean, I'm sure there's already something there like that. Even though I don't think they could get in trouble. Like, I'm sure it's like if you get scammed because there's whores and like shit on there. I'm sure there's something in that disclaimer that's like, if you get scammed because of Tinder, actually you're just dumb, and that's not our fault.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I just thought it was interesting point to bring up. If no one's listened or watched that documentary, I'd recommend you do that. It's it's presented as he's like some sort of bad guy and like, oh, we really fucked these chicks over, but it's a tale of a true king. It's a tale that's timeless. So I guess with that,
good show.
I know this has been a pretty good one. I'm pretty happy with that. I guess we'll go over lastly the Vivec Ramaswamy, dot head Indian fucking used car salesman extraordinaire. He was on the debate stage in the 4th Republican GOP debate, and he made a very interesting point that I don't think has been made in the mainstream before. And he backed it up with facts and logic, in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and play that to play us out. So here we go. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Great.
Never mind.
All right, that clip doesn't work. Basically, I will just say that Vivek Ramaswamy named the Great Replacement Theory. He put that out there and said, this is a Democratic Party platform to replace white people. But I look at him on stage, an Indian man running as a Republican, used car salesman, slime ball, total snake. And I look at that and I think to myself, maybe white people are being replaced. Like, I didn't put a lot of stock in the theory before, but like, this is the guy giving this message?
It is
this guy?
I did check, and it is worth noting that his wife is also Indian. He does not have a white wife. For all the racists who are wondering, like I was.
For all of the races that are wondering? What the fuck are you
Not that we have
about?
any of those in our audience. No.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Even racists are being great replaced.
He's the only one. I feel like the real great replacements is that Indians want to be white.
They put it on a pedestal.
They're kind of white.
They have like a whole caste system where the darker you are, like you work in like a sewer if you're like a black Indian, and if you're like a high tier white Indian,
you're a color of poo. There, you work with poo.
Yeah, that's their whole system, right?
Light skin, straight to Bollywood.
I've known Indians that just love white shit. You know, like they're like I don't know.
They like cocaine. They like Nike.
Like saying bro.
Yeah. They come over here and they're like, bro. Like,
bro,
yeah, like,
bro. That is
cool American too. Like Red Solo Cup. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like they're down for it, which I love. It's kind of like South Koreans and South Koreans. Like they're another culture that actually just love America. They love American culture, but. I mean, they're a different brand of weird from South Koreans, but I don't know.
They're like South Koreans, except they're rapists.
Vivec also wants to make it so that 18 to 25-year-olds have to take a fucking citizenship test before they're allowed to vote.
Really?
And I think he's close to the mark. He's just missing the part where you just take away the right to vote altogether.
Yeah.
From everybody.
I mean, I respect the initiative, though. I really do. I think that could.
Vivec.
Look, it's a baby step sort of thing, right? Like you can't just say, "Hey, you don't get to vote anymore." You know, Democratards will piss themselves, shit their pants.
He knows that his demographic already does not respect the 18 to 25-year-old age group.
I think I'm getting old because I know that Vivec is like. You know, like I know that Vivec is like made in a lab with like AI generated like viewpoints to directly appeal to some kind of Zoomer Republican that I guess I don't fully understand. You know,
he's a Twitter chud, bro. He literally has downloaded every Twitter chud post, put them into his mind, and then spouts them out like a used car salesman.
Yeah, exactly. The used car salesman thing is like. I don't know. It's interesting, but I really was dumbfounded when he mentioned the Great Replacement. I couldn't believe, but I've been dumbfounded on a few other things. Like right now, like the whole Israel thing, that's bizarre. Like I don't know. All of a sudden, there's this like Chud Lib alliance for anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give him credit. Like it is a good PR move because it just gets more people to like talk about him, and it gets MSNBC and CNN to go. Did you hear that Vivek Ramaswamy referenced the Great Replacement?
Yeah, it's just that like he's using the Trump tactic of like, I'm going to say something that's going to be outrageous. But the thing is like anyone with two brain cells to rub together can look at him and be like, dude, you're a fucking slime ball.
You know,
like you're as skeezy as it fucking gets.
You know who I wish would say something outrageous?
Whomst?
Fucking Ron DeSantis.
Dude, Ron DeSantis, all he can say, it's like a Family Guy cutaway clip. He's like, hey, Lois, remember the time I was a Republican Florida governor?
I called this before it happened. I knew that Ron DeSantis had no soul, and he couldn't actually hold it together.
The hardest line from Donald Trump was saying that he's in severe need of a personality transplant, and unfortunately, those are not yet available.
Yeah,
that was so good.
I remember it was.
Hell yeah.
It's like okay, like it's kind of based him like sending those immigrants to wherever or doing whatever. But
New York.
It turns out that if you just talk like a stupid robot and sit up there, like he was acting like he was the front runner the whole time.
People respect me. I stood up to Mickey Mouse. Okay, people of Florida, they respect me.
I stood up to Disney in Florida. It's like, bro, like nobody cares. Like, dude, I get that they own like half of Florida or something, and that's a big deal to you. But the rest of the country actually doesn't give that much of a fuck about Disney, especially since their movies suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Some off the cuff cast here.
Yeah. No, this has been a good episode. I want to thank Micah for killing it as always. I want to thank our boy Marcy for coming on, the third man.
Thanks for having me, boys. And thank you for letting me explain my ideology at length without immediately shitting on it. I'm glad that people out there...
What ideology?
I'll
the fuck are
be
you talking about?
rewriting and republishing my manifesto shortly somewhere.
Well,
once
you know, as part of your narrativism, maybe you can reimagine that as going swimmingly in your head. Maybe that'll work for you.
I just need to message some subscribers of your show and some followers to see if I can beg some amphetamine so I can get around to rewriting that manifesto.
Bro, please, my script ran out. I need it.
Actually, someone with ADHD diagnosed me, so...
All right, with that, peace out, my griller.
I'm old as a boomer. My mind said I'm zooming. Everything cooler, long as I'm not Laura Loomer. If you think I'm not number one, I done spelled that rumor. Hit that victory royale on some motherfucking Gucci. Default dance on a bitch. Hit the default dance on a bitch. Floss dance while I'm flossing in a whip. Victory royale when that chopper hit. Self-incrimination, I have no participation. News keep asking, I don't say shit. You can't have my conversation.